Welcome back, you guys, and let's talk about NBA players I think deserve more respect for their play this year. The players on here have improved on something they have gotten criticized for, have a more positive reputation as a player, and are simply playing better than they have before in certain areas. When you go through these 5 players, let me know if you agree or do you think another guy should be on here that is not getting enough respect. As always, if you like the NBA, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with the basketball videos I'll be dropping. So let's go into the first player. First on the list, we have Lou Williams, definitely somebody who deserves a lot more respect and credit for what he's doing this year. At the age of 31 and his 13th year in the league, Lou is averaging a career high in points, 3-point percentage, and assists. It's really rare that you see a guy in his 13th season having a career year in multiple categories. And you may not be aware of it, but the Clippers are only 1.5 games back from the 7th seed. It looked like they were going to have a bad year with the injuries to Blake Griffin, Danilo Gallinari, and Patrick Beverley, but Lou Williams has been one of the main reasons why they are still in the playoff race. Once again, he's a favorite for the 6th Man of the Year award, and he's known for his scoring, but he stepped up as a passer for the Clippers. In his last 5 games, Lou is averaging 31 points, 4 assists on 49% shooting, 43% from the 3-point line, and 91% at the free throw line. They just got Blake back, and if he can stay healthy, the Clippers are going to make a run for one of the last playoff spots in the West. Lou is a respected player, but I think more people should be giving him credit for keeping the Clippers afloat after they were hit with injuries. Here's an interesting stat. Lou Williams has scored 30 points in 8 games off the bench this year, and only 2 other players have hit that mark in the last 30 seasons, and those 2 players are Nate Robinson and Ricky Pierce. He's having one of the best seasons for a bench player in a while, and I think more people should be paying attention to him. Let's go into the second player. Second on the list, I have LaMarcus Aldridge. What got him a lot of heat from people was his performance in the conference finals last year. When Kawhi went down in game 1, Aldridge became the first option, but he could not handle the pressure of the Warriors defense that focused in on him on every possession. With no other high-level playmaker on the floor next to him, LaMarcus's weaknesses were exposed for everybody to see. He never got comfortable that series, but right now, as Kawhi Leonard recovers from his quad injury, he's doing very well as the #1 option. LaMarcus is having his best season in San Antonio, and a lot of it has to do with him and Greg Popovich being on the same page. Just a month ago, Greg Popovich publicly said that he made a mistake trying to overcoach LaMarcus. Pop said that he tried to make him a different player, and it affected his ability to feel comfortable and confident on offense. So right now, Pop is allowing LaMarcus to have free reign on offense to do what he wants instead of having him fit into the system. And it's working out well. He's scoring the most points per game since he signed with the Spurs, playing good defense, and hitting 35% of his 3-point shots. He definitely deserves more respect as a two-way player this year. It's frustrating sometimes watching him take post-up fadeaways when he has a smaller defender on him, but this has been his best season in San Antonio so far. DeMar DeRozan has had a pretty successful NBA career, but he catches a lot of criticism for not being able to affect the game outside of scoring inside the 3-point line. We saw that in a few games in the Bucks playoff series last year. He had no confidence in his jump shot, and it hurt the Raptors offense as teams can sag off of him and cut off his driving lanes. But so far this season, DeMar has gotten better in the areas he has caught a lot of heat for, his shooting range and his playmaking. In the Raptors' new offense that is focusing more on ball movement and 3-point shots, DeMar is averaging a career high in assists and 3-point shooting. He has already made more 3-point shots this season than he did for the entire season a year ago. We need to see more of this 3-point shooting success throughout the season, and we really need to see this in the playoffs too. Of course he's going to get his buckets. DeMar is a scorer. He just broke the Raptors' single-game scoring record, but make sure you're giving him credit for his improvements in playmaking and shooting. So I just talked about how Lou Williams has helped keep the Clippers alive in the playoff race. Well, one of the other reasons is Austin Rivers. With all of the injuries they have had, the Clippers really needed playmaking on the wing, and Austin has stepped up. He's averaging a career high in points, 3-point shooting, assists, and steals. Austin has gotten a lot of hate because people just don't like the Clippers, and I've seen people say he is only in the league because of his dad, but that is just not true. He is a good offensive player. He scored a career high in points in back-to-back games. Austin has a pretty fast first step to get to the rim, and his three-point shooting right now is legit. You can't sag off of him. You have to go out and play him tight. In the month of December, he was averaging 19 points, 4 assists, 45% shooting from the field, and 43% at the three-point line. It's unfortunate that he's injured right now because the Clippers have a chance to make a run at one of the final West playoff spots. I'm not saying you got to be a huge fan of him, because I know people do not like him, but you should definitely respect him as a player. The last player on the list I want to talk about is Chris Dunn. He was the 5th pick of the 2016 draft and was shipped to Chicago in the Jimmy Butler trade. That trade was not too long ago. I remember he was looked at as the least valuable piece in the trade out of Zach LaVine and Markkanen. His scoring and playmaking in the pick and roll has been one of the reasons why the Bulls tanked for the first pick in the 2018 draft, has been derailed a bit. If you have watched Bulls games, you definitely have noticed he's a capable defender. He's 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan, so he can use that length to bother other guards. Chris Dunn is a good example of why you cannot give up on young players after they do not perform up to expectations in one season. You have to give these guys time to grow, and in my opinion, you should wait until the end of a player's rookie contract to make a judgment. You see that with guys like Otto Porter, who was pretty bad in his first few years, but now he's a legit starter. I cannot wait to see him play next to Zach LaVine this season, and it's going to be good to see who they get in the draft in 6 months. He still needs to work on keeping his turnovers down and work on his outside shooting, but he could be the point guard for the next few years for the Bulls if he keeps improving. I really appreciate it if you're still here watching. I like doing story videos, but I also like doing current NBA topics. We are pretty close to 100,000 subscribers, so shout out to you guys for supporting the videos. I've had a lot of fun talking about basketball with you guys. I do have a Twitter, so if you're on Twitter, follow me if you want, because I do tweet when the games are on. Remember, I will be doing a video on players who have been disappointing this year to me, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys then.